What's up, everybody? That's trying to back another video. I haven't made a video with just the STS in a minute. I feel like the 300 was still in the spotlight, but anyways, finally got an STS video today. If you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know what to do. But anyways, I'm not gonna keep vibing. Basically, what I'm doing in this video, I'm gonna talk about another 6 things that are gonna break on the Cadillac STS. Okay, now if you an OG subscriber, if you've been with my channel a while, you know that I actually made a video about, I think it was top 5 things that will break in the STS. I don't know if it was 5 or 10. I don't know. I don't remember. It's been a while. But I basically made a video about the STS and things that will break. Things to look out for. Basically if you're thinking of buying a car. But things that will break on this car that are very common. I got another 6 things to add that obviously weren't on that list. So it's 6 different things. And this list is actually more, what I get on this list is things that are actually more common than the one I made, than the first video I made. So a lot of the things on this list are like things that you would, like, there's no, like, it's gonna break regardless of, what you do or anything. So yeah, anyways, I'll put the link to that video in the description if you want to check that one out. But anyways, without further ado, let's just get started. The first thing that's gonna break, if you STS, I'm talking about the 05 to 2011 generation. Okay, so just, but I know they made it previous. I don't know about the previous years, but I have an 05. I have a 2005 Cadillac STS North Star, all-wheel drive, all that shebang. So yeah, so I'm talking about the 05 to 2011. Okay, so anyways, the first thing that's gonna break on this cars is your wheel bearing. Okay, wheel bearing is very common in these cars, very, very, very common. And basically what I mean by that is, mechanically, the wheel bearing is still fine. You know the normal thing about wheel bearings, like when you're driving, you hear like a humming noise, and then if you move the steering wheel, the noise kind of goes away. That's how you tell. The wheel bearing in these cars mechanically are actually good. The problem with the wheel bearing is that it has a little ring sensor in there for the speed sensor for each wheel, obviously. So the ABS uses the information from there, the traction control, brake assist, stability control. So obviously they all need to know the speed of each wheel. So it has that little ring on the wheel bearing, and that ring, it goes bad very often. Those things fail pretty often. So when they fail, you get ABS lights, traction control light is on, stability control light is on, and it will say, I'll put a video or picture, it would say service brake assist, service stability control, service traction control system, and I think that's it. Maybe there might be one more. So yeah, it's very, very common in these cars. I said mechanically the wheel bearing is still fine, but just because of that sensor, and I don't know the reason why they fail so often. Maybe because of age and rust, I don't know. On my previous STS, I had a 07 STS a couple months ago. I had to replace, I think I had to replace like 3 of them. I had to replace 2 when I got the car, and I had to replace another one in the front. And I had so I replaced the 2 in the rear. The passenger side front went out. I replaced that, and the driver's side went out, and the rear driver's side went out again. So that was one of the reasons why I got rid of the car, because that with some other issues that the car was having. So, but yeah, it's very common on these cars, and it's not just STS. Actually, like, I noticed pretty much most GM cars, because they all have the same wheel bearing design. So yeah, most cars, well, I'm gonna say a lot of cars, like at least for my Chrysler, it has like a actual speed sensor that you can actually remove and replace if it goes bad, so you don't have to replace the whole wheel bearing. But the way GM does it, they integrate it with wheel bearing, so you have to replace the whole wheel bearing just because of that sensor. And some of the symptoms you'll have, obviously, like I said, the warning lights. Another weird thing that could happen is when you're driving normally, like on a dry road, the traction control will actually come on, and it would actually slow the car down, or like take the power out, so the car will feel like it's slowing down even though there's no ice or anything. And that's because the sensor is thinking, oh, you're on ice, because it's getting bad readings from that wheel bearing. So yeah, if you're not getting any slowdown, I guess you could drive it like that. It doesn't really hurt anything, but You know, then again, the parts are pretty cheap. If you go Rock Auto, it's like 40 bucks or so, and it's not so hard to replace. But yeah, that's the first thing. The second thing that's gonna break is a little micro switch in the shifter. This little shifter right here. If you have an 07 and up, yours might be a little different. You probably won't have this for, but it's pretty much the same thing. And what that issue is when you put the car in park. Okay, let's say, you know, you just finish driving, you pull up, you know, you stop the car, you put the car in park, you shut the car off, and then you get a little message on that little screen. I'll put a video of it or picture, and it will say shift to park, even though the shifter is already in park. Okay, and it's just gonna stay there, and it's gonna be like you hear like a little chime, like ting ting ting, put it in park. It's very, very annoying. I actually had this issue on my older STS as well. And typically what I would do to kind of like remedy it, it's not a fix, is when I have that issue, I just take the shifter and I like jam it into park, and that message usually goes away. But eventually, you know, that's not gonna work anymore. And I think upon doing research, basically what causes that is a little micro switch in the shifter somewhere in here. Like I said, I never fix it on mine, so yeah, and if you don't fix it, if it gets too bad to the, it will get so bad to the point when you put it in park, it's always just gonna be there, and you go inside and you come, you know, leave for hours, and you come back the next morning and you still see that message. So I heard it's an easy fix. It's a little micro switch, so it's probably cheap. That's another common thing. Luckily, I don't have that issue on this car, so that's good. But I did have that on my previous STS. The third thing, now this one's very, very common also. This also is common in the CTS, and that's the rear differential bushing. Okay. The rear differential, it doesn't matter if you have an all-wheel drive car or a rail-wheel drive car. You know, obviously they will have differentials, but it has a little bushing in there, and that bushing goes bad. You know, it's fairly common. Like if you look online, you see a lot of people. Like I said, it's also common in CTS as well. And the bushing, I don't know, I guess it's just over time, and maybe it's not just made with a good material from the factory. It just goes bad. And then once that happens, the signs you get is once you put it, so when you're in park, if you go to reverse, you get like a little thud. I actually have this issue in my car right now in this current STS. I didn't have this issue in my previous STS, but I have this issue in my current STS. I actually put my camera under the car so you can actually see what's going on. And the thing is, when that bushing fail, like I said, when you put it in the reverse or put it in drive, you hear like a little thud, and that noise you're hearing is the differential actually moving. You know, because obviously the drive shaft is connected to it, and so once you change the gear, either from the drive shaft spinning this way or this way, it kind of moves the differential a little bit, so it goes up and down. I'll put a video on there. I said you hear a little thud, like a little thud from the rear, so that's a telltale sign that, you know, your differential bushing is probably shut. I said I have it on this car. I haven't fixed it yet, obviously. Reason being, it's kind of a pain in the ass to fix. It's not something I ever want to try to do myself, because you have to take out the exhaust, the drive shaft has to be disconnected, you have to swing the differential down. I don't know if you have to take it out completely. People have different ways of doing it, and then you have to push that old differential bushing out and put a new one in, which is really, really difficult. So yeah, I've been driving it like this. I do plan to change it in the future, but I'll probably just have a shop do it, because I'm not even trying to mess with that. You know, I don't have the tools or the space or the patience to even do that. So yeah, another common issue that, you know, like I said, will probably happen in STS. It's just inevitable. It's just, unless it's already been replaced, you know, something that'll probably most likely happen. The fourth thing is now this applies to the V6 models, especially the newer ones. It's timing chain issues. No, if you look online, a lot of people complain about timing chain issues. You get like a P00, I don't know what code, but like timing related codes. You know, the timing chain stretches and jumps a tooth, and then, you know, the car's not running right, it's idling terribly, you know, things like that. The problem with this car, with the V6, at least I don't have, obviously I've never had a V6 STS, but based on the research that I did, the V6 tends to burn, the V6 engines tend to like burn oil a little bit, and then, you know, the car has an oil monitoring system. When you change the oil, you put at 100%. Now, what a lot of people do is that they follow the oil monitoring system, and the range from the oil monitoring system, from when it goes from 100 to 0% or whatever people are changing it at, even 10 or 20%, it's like 5,000, maybe 6,000 miles, which is a lot, you know. So during all these miles, you know, a lot of people, they're not checking the oil, you know, they're not checking the oil level. So the oil is gonna start burning and it's gonna start getting low and low and low, and now you have less oil lubricating the engine. So the timing chain components is kind of like the first part of the engine that gets, when oil is less, that's the first part that gets less lubrication. So the timing components are going to start wearing out more quickly. The plastic guides and everything, the chain itself. So that wears out, it stretches, it jumps 1 or 2 teats. You get a lot of codes, and then, you know, now you gotta do a timing chain job or get a new engine. That seems to be the route a lot of people do when they have this issue. Obviously, it's expensive either ways. Whether you try to change it or put a new engine, it's very expensive. And for this reason, this is why I always tell people, when, you know, I've had a lot of people ask me, comment on my video, you're like, hey, I'm trying to get an STS. Should I get a V6? Should I get a V8? And most, like, all the time, I'm like, why? You know, just if you can get a V8, if you can afford it, if you can find one in good shape, always get a V8. You know, you're not missing anything if you're getting a V6. You know, the gas mileage is basically the same. You know, it's not, the V6 is not significantly better in terms of gas mileage. You know, you get more power, you know, and you don't have to worry about the issue of the timing chain, you know, failing and stuff like that. You know, so that's why I always recommend to get a V8. You can get a V6. The only thing I'll say, if you do get a V6 or you have a V6, just make sure, one, don't follow that oil monitoring system. Okay, change it around, I'll say maybe 5,000 miles at most. Okay, 5,000 miles is the highest I'll go. You know, changing 5,000 miles, you know, you can do it less if you want. That's up to you, but I wouldn't go past 5,000 miles. And also make sure you're checking your oil every, you know, I check my oil every week, and I have a V8. Okay, so make sure you're checking your oil every week, or however often you want to check it. You know, just make sure that level is good. If it's a little low, make sure it's within the operating range. Okay, you don't want it to get too low, and, you know, you're gonna have things failing and stuff. So if you don't have a V6, just make sure you check the oil. Okay, make sure you're checking everything, and obviously make sure you're changing it in time, using good quality oil. You know, so that'll basically take care of that. And then if you do that, you're checking the oil is always good. Then those engines will probably last forever. You know, so, but like I said, most people don't check it. They just put it in there, wait for the oil monitoring system to go to 0, and then they change it in for, you know, oil is low. You know. Anyways, that's it. And this also applies to this the CTS as well. The CTS also, I think it has the same engine. So yeah. Anyways, the next issue, this one's a fairly it's kind of common, but it's easy. It's a service. You get a service airbag warning. This one's kind of common with the GM cars as well. What is that? And basically what that is, you know, you start the car up, you get a service airbag system or something like that. I don't know. And then you have a little airbag, red lights in the dash. I don't know what causes it. I don't know what exactly the issue is, but typically the way to fix that is, once you see that message, you shut the car off. All right. Let me flip the camera so I can show off, right? But then what you want to do, you look under the seat, and then you see this yellow connector right here. You pull this two blue tabs out, disconnect this connector, connect it back, and then you come over to the passenger side. I don't know if you can see, but the passenger side also has one down there. I can't really switch. It also has the same yellow connector. You do the same thing, disconnect it, and connect it back, and then you start the car and the message is gone, the warning is gone. So I don't know what causes that. I had that on my previous STS as well. I disconnected, connected back, light went away. I also had this that warning on this STS as well a couple months ago, maybe weeks ago, I don't remember. But I decided this sent to disconnect, connected back, and it went away. So so that's a fairly easy fix. You know, I said this is also kind of common with GM cars. I don't know exactly why it does that. So yeah. Now this last one I want to talk about, this one applies to the 05 through 07 STS. Okay, this kind of the serious one. This is the big one. I don't even know how I missed this in the first video. So yeah, 05 to 07. This one doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have a V6 or V8. And what this one is your catalytic converters. Okay, '05 and '07 STS catalytic converters, they will go bad. You know, if it hasn't been replaced, if it still has the OEM one that came from the if it has the one that came from the factory back in '05 or '07, it's gonna fail. Most likely, it's gonna fail. Okay, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's some kind of manufacturing defect or something, but this thing's failed like crazy. They fail all the time. So much so that Cadillac actually came up with an extended warranty on the catalytic converters to 10 years or 200,000 miles. You know, whichever comes first, obviously. So yeah, if it goes bad, you just take it there and they replace it for you. Now, obviously, if you have an '05 or '07 at this point, it's past 10 years. So most likely that warranty, you know, is already out anyway. So you can't do anything about it. If you have an '05 and you don't have any catalytic converters, most likely somebody who owned in the past has changed it, or you know, I guess they didn't all fail, but it was a high number of, you know, I don't know what the stats is, but it's a high number of people having cats failing. You know, and the way you know how it fails, obviously you get a check engine light, scan the code, you get a P0420 or P0430 code. You know, most people think, oh, just odor sensor. Nah, it's not odor sensor, it's your cat. Your cat is gone. All right. So like I said, very, very common on the LE STS from '08 and above. I believe they fixed it and they didn't have no issues with the catalytic converters. So yeah, and depending on what state you are, this could be a big deal, because if you have to do inspection, and obviously, you know, it's something you're gonna have to take care of whether you like it or not. So yeah, you know, in this situation, you know, a lot of people, you know, buying brand new cats from the factory, obviously it's gonna be, I mean, this thing's expensive. It's probably like $800 a piece, something like that. So you're looking at well over 1,600 or whatever the math, I don't know. So it's very expensive, and I don't recommend buying used one, because if you buy a used one, you don't know the condition of it. You don't know, you know, stuff like that. So I guess you can, I don't know, I guess there's aftermarket ones that are out there that you can buy. At the same time, some of these aftermarket cats don't tend to work well with the car and the, you know, stuff like that. So I don't know. I really just, like, I don't know what to do. If you're in a state that does inspection, I don't know. The only thing I can maybe suggest is you can get one of those O2 sensor spark plug non-follow things and put your O2 sensor. People use that, and then it basically tricks the computer that the cat is working fine. So I guess you can do that and get away with it. But obviously, I'm here in Minnesota. We don't do inspections, so you know, it's not a big deal to me. The reason why I'm saying that, because I actually had that issue on this car, on my '05 STS. Both the cats are bad. I'm getting a P0420, P0430 code. And I knew that if I bought it, that's one reason why, you know, I got it for so cheap. I'm sorry, I'm kind of sick, so. But yeah, so it's very common, like I said. I also had this issue on my '07, my previous STS, my '07 from a couple months ago. I had the same cats issue. Both the cats were bad, and both the cats are bad in this car as well. So, and then this tends to fail. Like, it doesn't even matter if you have high miles or not. I've seen guys with 50,000 miles, 7,000 miles, cats going bad. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, it's just one more thing to just know that, you know, probably fail on this car. If it hasn't already failed, that is. So yeah, I guess something to look at if you want to buy one of those older ones. Or a reason for you to not buy the older ones. If you want to buy STS, you know, go with the newer one, go with the '08 and above. So yeah. So that's about it. I guess one more thing to say about the cat's failure is there are two ways so basically what happens with that is that there are things in the honeycomb or whatever it's in the cat. I guess those are not good from the factory and they just fail. So in my previous STS, what would happen when I cold started my car, I would get like this nasty rattle from under the car. And basically what that is the stuff, that the thing that's in the catalytic converter is actually, it's filled so bad to the point where it's actually broken off and you can actually hear it shaking. And it was so fucking annoying. And this was actually part of the reason why I sold that car. It was so annoying. I hated it because I hear rattles, I hear noises of any kind. And obviously I couldn't do anything about it. I tried to delete the cats, you know, but every shop I took it to, obviously they don't want to touch it because, you know, it's illegal, whatever, blah, 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 blase, blase. So yeah, you might get a nasty rattle and it's very annoying. Other times, like in this car, like I said, it's filled in this car. There's no rattle noise. It drives perfectly fine. I'm not getting any rattling or anything, and this car has, you know, 200,000 miles on it. So obviously I'm not gonna replace the cats. Hell no. Fuck that. I'm not replacing the cats. I might put O2 non-files in the spark plug so the check engine light doesn't keep coming on, because every time check engine light comes on I have to keep clearing it. And the reason why, because if check engine light is on, it doesn't let you remote start the car. So it's kind of a pain. Every time I drive it comes, I have to take my code reader, which is in the back, and just keep clearing it all the time. So, but it's not a big deal. Anyways, that's everything. That's, you know, that's all I gotta say. That's, you know, that's the video. If you have some of these issues, or if you have some other issues, you can comment below. If you have any tips for some of these issues and you have a same car, comment below. You know, help people out, stuff like that. That's all I got, man. That's all I got. Thanks for watching the video. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. Hope y'all have a good weekend, man. I'll see you on the next one, man. Then turn it out. Peace.